Hey there, it's Rachel Mullins, the host of Hashtag No Filter Fridays on Public House Media.
Do you need some extra motivation in your life? Are you looking to be inspired? If so, then look no further than the Good God Company.
At the Good God Company, their mission is to create and clothe all loving humans with their unique, inspiring, and beautifully designed t-shirts.
All of the products from the Good God Company are equally designed to motivate you and improve your life. From their mugs, workout tanks, to eye-appealing shirts and sweatshirts.
Learn more about their renowned products by visiting thegoodgodcompany.com. That's thegoodgodcompany.com.
The Good God Company is proud to support Public House Media. The Good God Company. I'm feeling good.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everyone?
Hey guys!
Coffee with Keith
And Katie on Public House Media.
brought to you by
The Good God Company.
Check them out at thegoodgodcompany.com and check out these awesome mugs from the Good God Company. Now, just because the way the Facebook camera does it, David, thanks for joining us as always, David. We have our awesome mugs that we're just showing off from the Good God Company. If you can read it backwards, because we're showing up backwards,
Yeah.
it says, "I'm feeling good today."
I'm feeling good
It
today.
looks great.
Yeah.
It has it on all sides of the mug, so you can
Yes.
always see the logo. The writing is great, the font, and
And
hey,
the color, I love the fuchsia or pink or whatever.
yep. And we don't have anything in the mugs yet.
No, I have.
Because-
I do. I have a spoon and I have this much milk.
We have coffee coming right up from ouch, Mr. Fuzzy Face, he scratched me. From Bodum, we have our
French press.
French press, and I haven't used the French press for a while. You saw that I used it on the show the other day, and after I used it, I'm like, man, that makes a good cup of coffee, man. I love it. So I had to do it again, so again, this is a French press from Bodum. They make a great product. So I'm gonna
Shameless plug.
I mean, hey, I think Bodum should be very happy. They're not paying us right now. So.
I know we're being shameless in like hoping for.
A little more?
That's probably good.
Probably good. All right, a little more in there. It's great. All the ground settled at the bottom with the plunger. You get nothing but pure coffee on top. All right, so that's the Bodum product. Great product. I would highly suggest it. So the name of the show today is "We're Going Places," and it's not a brag or anything like that.
We're going places.
We're going places.
Yay!
Katie and I are planning to go places. Yay!
Yay, it's very exciting.
To kind of backtrack, on Monday I was not able to make our show. I was in Washington D.C. working. I was working with things revolving around Major League Baseball and their All-Star game. So
We both work in Major League Baseball.
we do.
That's pretty awesome.
I don't work in Major League Baseball. I work with companies that work in Major League Baseball.
We can say that we both work in Major League Baseball.
All right. So we were at FanFest, and I want to point out that I met my co-host for the other show that I do, which is the Cheap Seats. Check that show out on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Max Wolpoff, I was able to meet him in person. It was great to finally meet him. So David says, on the bus, hope my signal holds. And so I was in DC revolving stuff around, with stuff going around the All-Star game, and they have a fan fest, and they have all these, of course, booths up, and you can go and buy things and check out what people are doing around baseball. And we have a friend, Billy, and you might remember him from Beers with Billy, and we had him on the show once. And Billy,
We had him a couple times, and
Yeah.
his fiance Jenna joined us once.
yeah, and they're great people. We always enjoy having them on, and what they're all right. And what they really enjoy doing is going to ballparks together. And they had this booklet. It's called, it's a passport book, and it has information on, different ballparks all around the major leagues, and all these ballparks, they have a little stamp, so it's like a passport. You go there with your little Major League Baseball stadium passport booklet, and they stamp it. And it's really cool, and it's something that Billy and Jenna can, kind of keep track of, all the places that they go. And Katie, being a tour guide at Wrigley, has now gotten into gotten into ballparks.
Yeah, I think they're so cool. I'm so spoiled. I get to walk around Wrigley almost every day, and I to me, a place is just a place.
Yeah.
But since I've learned so much about Wrigley and the Cubs, I really want to see what other teams are doing, what other stadiums and ballparks, how Wrigley is far superior to most of them. I'd like to see them all, and not just baseball. We love football. We love the Packers. I'd love to see every NFL stadium too.
So
It's going to be very expensive.
So that's the title of the show. We're going places. So going back to what we mentioned with Billy and his passport book, I was able to go during FanFest when I had a spare minute, and we got the Major League Baseball ballpark passport. And this is a nice book, and
really nice.
it's
It's so
very
cool.
nice. Hard cover. This thing will last a long time, and it has information on every team's ballpark. It has the place for you to put the stamp right there. We're looking at Guaranteed Rate Stadium right now. Or field. What a great name for a ballpark, let me tell you. And just to show that they have everyone, this is the Detroit Tigers, of course. Got the place for the passport right there, and there's a map in the middle.
It's so cool. It shows all the specs for this park, like when it was built, how much it cost.
Yep.
Like, it's so great. And I had to go through and make sure. And it says Wrigley Field cost $250,000.
$255,000 to make. Because
it did.
Yeah, because it's never moved. It's the original ballpark, and to construct it, that's what it costs, right?
Even Fenway, 2 years older than us, they cost $650,000.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So it has a bunch of cool things. I'm not gonna
Yeah, stickers.
fumble
Has these
through
really
it.
cool stickers?
Really cool stickers that has the numbers on it, numbered 1 through a 35. There obviously aren't 35 baseball teams, but there's a map in the middle of it. I'm gonna try to find it.
They'll tear one down, though.
Yeah, it's true. And you can map out where you went, what ballpark you went to at which time on this. We'll find it on this handy dandy map here across the country, and you can put the little sticker number on it. So, anyways,
Say I was here, and it has a thing you can say I sat here. A little sticker.
right. So yeah, with the
really cool.
with the ballpark. So they have the blueprint for every ballpark, and as Katie said, they have a sticker. It said I sat here, and then you can put the sticker on the ballpark in the area that you sat.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's the book.
It's really cool.
That's why the title of the show is Katie and I Are Going Places, because eventually we will hit every single Major League Baseball ballpark, but not just Major League Baseball, every single major sports venue. It's going to take a number of years, but baseball will be covered, the NFL will be covered, college football, it's going to be darn near impossible to cover all those. But hey, we'll see how many we can get to, and so on and so forth.
I don't care so much about hockey or basketball.
Because stadiums, I think, are much more unique than arenas. There are a lot of arenas that can be unique, but there's only so much you can do in a confined space, where stadiums, you know, a lot of them are outdoors, so much more open air, and they're so much more unique because they play to what's around them. You know, you can see you can see the mountains in the background, and,
right?
You know.
Especially with baseball being different configurations.
The name of the group is Ballpark Stampeders.
Stamp Eaters.
Yeah. So they were great guys. When I spoke with them, made me want to buy the book, and so just want to give them some love. Ballpark Stampeders on Facebook, and MLBBallparkPassport.com. That's their website. That's their Facebook page.
I wonder if you try to scan the QR code through our video, if it would work.
We'll have to try it.
We'll have to check it.
Another guy who I promised I was going to give a shout out to today, Tommy Mack. Tommy, I see that we have.
Tommy!
I don't know if Tommy's watching us right now. It only says people that are watching us live when they're viewing on their phones, not on their computers. So Tommy,
oh, I didn't know that.
If you're viewing us on the computer, we don't know if you're viewing us on the computer, but hey, shout out to Tommy Mack. Tommy! New Bucks Arena? You excited? Tommy, yes, of course I'm excited about that. I don't think they have a name for it yet. I think it's the just the Wisconsin Entertainment Sports Complex or something. Tommy knows a little bit about Milwaukee. He went to school at Marquette, so he understands the Milwaukee downtown atmosphere like we do. It'll be a little hard to see the Bradley Center be torn down because that's the arena that's the arena I grew up going to and watched the Bucks play at and everything when they were really good and they had Ray Allen and everything. David says maybe check out some college stadiums and arenas with great traditions. Clemson football, Utah State basketball. Now, David, I'm going to ask you, because I don't know about Utah State basketball. Is that a joke? Because if that's a joke, that's a great joke. Or do you know something about Utah State basketball that I just don't know, David? But that's a great idea. To check out some college football stadium. That's really where the big traditions and everything seem to originate from when it comes to stadiums. Is college.
We went to
football.
Harvard, not for a game, but we went to Boston.
We were in Boston on a vacation, and
so we checked out Harvard.
Yeah, Harvard football.
Why anyone would watch a game there is beyond me.
It was the original stadium built for the sole purpose of playing football. It was the first football stadium built.
But it looks awesome, but you're sitting on a concrete slab.
And they haven't touched it since they built it. You're sitting on a concrete slab. There are no seats. It's just something. The seating is something that you would see in a park.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the Coliseum?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
So, yeah. Anyway.
And did you finish talking about Max? That you met Max finally?
Yeah.
You did finish that? I was pouring sugar.
I met Max. That's what I said.
Okay.
I said met Max. That's the other show that I'm a part of, as I mentioned before. The Cheap Seats on it's a Public House Media podcast, and I do the show with Max every Wednesday. Max called me out. He saw that I was there for the home run derby, and he said, "Why didn't you tell me you were in the area?" And I felt bad because since I'm working, I didn't want to tell him I would be in the area and then not be able to see him. But he said, "Hey, I'm going to be at the ballpark." So he called me out, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll be at the ballpark on Tuesday." So I had to meet him. It was great. There's a picture of us finally meeting on the Public House Media website and Facebook page, and the Cheap Seats Facebook page. So check that out. David says, "We believe that we will." Does that originate from Utah State basketball, David? I don't know.
Sup, gangsters?
Isaac.
Sup, Isaac.
Sup, Isaac. Thanks for joining us, man. You are a little late Isaac, we're getting close to ending the show, so
No,
you're
we're
gonna
not.
have to. We are.
I have trivia for you.
I know, but that's what we're getting to. We always do trivia. That was my segue
Well, that
into
was
trivia.
your segue. Oh, okay.
into trivia. But I gotta shout out to Tommy Mac one more time. I told him when I was leaving work today. He said, "Hey, how's the show going?" I said, "Great. Come watch us tonight." And he said, "I'll do that." I said, "All right, you better watch us, or else I'm going to call you out at the end of the show." So I'm calling you out towards the end of the show, Tommy, but to simply give you a thumbs up.
Way to go, Tommy!
Thanks for watching. David says, "Isaac's here. It's clobbering time." It's clobbering time. All right. So one more time before we completely forget about it, Stampeders, check them out on Facebook and MLBBallparks.com. Great.
Before we move on,
Great people.
what ballpark are you most looking forward to going to?
One that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Oof.
For example, I want to see the Giants because their park is right on the bay,
Yep.
and apparently people go out in boats and you can
Kayaks. And
kayaks and you can catch home run balls.
When I was in San Francisco a couple weeks ago, I was on the bridge, so I kind of drove past it. I was able to see it from the bridge, but I didn't get to see it up close. That's a good one. I want to see Dodger Stadium because that's the one really old one. It was built in the 50s that I haven't seen yet. Because I've seen Wrigley. I've been to a
When
game.
was Dodger Stadium built?
1950s, 60s, 61. 61? When was it built?
62.
She always says, "You don't listen to me on my tours." I've been to 3 of them,
And he retains nothing.
but I've been to 3 of them. I obviously support you.
David says, Segway game needs work. Talk to Greg about that.
We'll give a shout out to David. He, of course, is a member of the Greg and Dave show. He is the Greg.
Dave show.
He is Dave show with he is the Greg. Give me a break. Sorry, David. All right. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited to see Dodger Stadium because I've been to a game at Fenway. I've seen Fenway before. I've seen the new Yankee Stadium before. I've been in it. Have not seen a ball game in it, but so I'm really excited about that one. But
I want to go a step further. I want to tour every ballpark, and I want to see a game.
you don't want to tour guaranteed rate stadium, guaranteed rate field. You don't want to. I
You
don't
can't.
even think they have. You
Guaranteed
can't
rate
do it.
doesn't do tours.
You know why? Because nobody wants to go see guaranteed rate field. I'm sorry. We don't want to talk trash like this about. But I mean, come on,
do this
guys.
all day.
You built it wrong. They should have built. You could. Why could you not pivot the stadium about 45 degrees so the outfield looks into the Chicago downtown skyline? You have it angled towards the highway. It's like downtown's right here, and the ballpark opens up right here. And you'd have a great view.
They didn't want to
They
detract from the
could have been
pinfield.
so good, but it's the White Sox, so there you go.
Anyway, I would like to see both at the ones that have them available.
All right.
We toured Fenway. I'd like to go to a game at Fenway. So at the ones that still have them, I would like to do both.
It's going to cost a lot of
It's
money.
going to cost a lot of money,
All right.
take a long time.
All right. But we're up for it.
We're up.
We got the book to do it.
We do. Very
Katie,
excited.
you got some trivia
I
for
do.
me.
All right. So during the football season, it's usually the name game. Keith can tell us where players went to college, but nothing's really going on in the NFL right now. At least that I.
Yeah, you have to adapt to what's going on.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention, but I thought we'd talk about stadiums. So,
We're on the topic.
Keith, Major League ballparks. How many?
I did good on this topic a couple weeks ago.
How many? And what are the non-corporate sponsored ballparks left in Major League Baseball?
How many non-corporate sponsored ballparks are there in baseball?
And what are they?
All right, now let's I'm going to ask you, are you counting Wrigley Field or not? Because people like to say Wrigley Field was the first ever sponsored stadium because of Wrigley's gum. But technically, is it not really named after Wrigley the person, not Wrigley the company?
It was the first corporate sponsored
Okay.
ballpark. I am saying it's not corporate sponsored
Okay.
because Wrigley has nothing to do with it anymore.
Wrigley's gum.
Wrigley
gum
Gum
has nothing to do
Mars Candy,
Okay.
Warren
So,
Buffett,
all right,
who
so-
did not have a concert there. Apparently it was Jimmy Buffett.
it. Isaac says, I know this. Don't ruin it for me, Isaac. All right, so Wrigley's one of them. You're
Okay,
counting.
yes.
You're counting Wrigley.
I'm
as
counting
one.
Wrigley.
Okay.
Okay, so how many and what are they?
Well, I'm going to just try. I'm not going to know the number until I name them.
That's what I figured. So that's why it's a two-pronged question.
Okay, so Wrigley,
Yeah?
Fenway,
Yep.
Dodger Stadium,
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium,
Yeah.
Marlins Park,
Yes.
Kauffman Stadium.
Yep.
That's Kansas City.
Yep.
So we're at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Mack says Yankee Stadium. All right, so I'm at 6.
You're at 6? There are more.
There are more. How many more?
There are 4 more.
There are 10 of them?
There are 10.
There are 10 non-corporate sponsored stadiums? And
Yeah.
holy smokes.
I was surprised.
10 of them.
10 of them. But you think about it. All right. I'll give you a hint. You
No, don't give me a hint.
Okay.
Camden Yards,
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
Oriole Park at Camden. Nationals Park.
Yeah.
I was just there. 2 more.
2 more.
No hints.
Okay.
Why will I need a hint?
You shouldn't. You just have to think about it.
Not Toronto.
Nope. That one is corporate
that one
sponsored.
is corporate. That's like
It's
Rogers.
Rogers Center.
Rogers Center, yeah.
But it's owned by Rogers something.
So I said not Toronto, so that doesn't count against me.
That does not count against you.
The Coliseum in Oakland.
What's the name of the Coliseum? Do you know the full name of the Coliseum?
Probably like whatever county Coliseum.
Oakland Alameda
Alameda County
Coliseum.
Okay.
I will take Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah, all right. Thanks. One more.
One more.
One more. Texas Rangers?
No,
No. What stadium is that one?
I don't know. Look in the book.
Let's look at the
Look in
book.
the book.
Well, what? No, I can't look in the book because
I will
might
look in
I might
the
come
book.
across the wrong one.
Okay.
I might come across the
You
one.
think, and I will look in the book.
Ooh, this is tough. Tommy says Angels. Ah, all right.
Angels Park in Anaheim. Angel Stadium.
Angel Stadium.
Of
Tommy
Anaheim.
knew it.
Way to go,
All right,
Tommy.
I told. All right.
Texas
I know this because
Rangers.
Isaac says I know this because I googled it.
Texas Rangers Globe Life.
Globe Life Park.
So, I have to tell you, of the 10,
I got 9 out of 10 with an assist from Tommy.
6. I should have known this. So there are 7. There are only 7 ballparks left that were built before 1990.
Mm-hmm.
6 of them
Are on the list.
are on this list.
And the other ones just weren't able to find a corporate sponsor. That's what it means. Just weren't able to find anyone that wanted to put forth the money to do it.
I like to make fun of people and things. I don't know if you know this. And I can't make fun of Cincinnati because they play at the Great American Ballpark.
Great American Ballpark.
And it is after Great American Insurance or something.
Isaac,
But I can't make fun of the Great American Ballpark.
It's a good name.
It's a great name, and I can't make fun of it. So yes, 1/3.
But you can make fun of Guaranteed Rate Field
Oh yes,
with a big downward pointing arrow.
guys. Oh my goodness.
You know the White Sox had to agree to that because they had no one else willing to put forth that money.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. People ask me all the time, will they rename Wrigley Field?
No.
I really feel there would be an uprising.
You won't have to get teams like the Cubs, like the Red Sox and Yankees and Dodgers. The brands are so large that you won't have to, that you don't need that.
So you're looking at as these teams have to have a sponsor.
Well, yeah, I mean they would not have built Target Field in Minnesota if they had, if the Twins didn't have that corporate sponsor to put on the stadium from the get-go, they probably wouldn't have gotten the stadium made. I'm surprised the Marlins were able to get a stadium made without getting a major sponsor to put on their stadium. Will there ever be a presenting sponsor for Wrigley? Says, will there ever be a presenting sponsor for Wrigley?
We have different schools of thought. The more skeptical will say, someday it'll probably be Wrigley Field by
Budweiser. You have the big Budweiser thing, but I think with Wrigley, you have Wintrust and you have Budweiser in the left field and right field.
Yeah.
And I think that with those big, huge sponsors, that everybody sees them while they watch the game. I think the big thing with Wrigley that they won't need a presenting sponsor for Wrigley Field is because you have such huge billboards that you can't help but notice while you're watching the game. A lot of the teams, it'll be Target Field, on the front, City Field on the front of the stadium. And of course they have, most of them will have it on the outfield as well. But I think with the Cubs having those big, huge sponsors, in each outfield, having it be a continuous reminder.
So
Tom, that's so much money, though.
So two things. One, right. The Ricketts were Cubs fans before they ever owned the Cubs. So I like to think that there are some things they won't touch.
So they're Cubs purists before they were owners, so they don't want to mess with that as
right.
fans.
I think they've messed with more than a purist would. Nothing against the renovations at all. They've changed a lot and improved a lot.
Yeah.
But I think as fans, that's one step they won't take. However,
money talks.
We've seen, at what point is our naming rights a necessity, and at what point are they corporate greed?
Well, I think the teams. Well, I think once the Yankees, it's hard to tell. There's also a difference between corporate greed and what's fiscally responsible. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, just because fans, you have the purist fans that say you never rename Wrigley Field, never put a presenting sponsor on Wrigley Field. The same fans were the ones that say never put lights on Wrigley Field, never put a jumbotron at Wrigley Field. It's the same fans, so I wouldn't be surprised if they put a presenting sponsor on at some point, but with the branding that the Cubs have and everything that they can make money off of, I think that they would go the Fenway Park way. Fenway Park is like the Yellow Pages, if you've ever been to Fenway Park. Sponsors everywhere.
It's disgusting.
Gotta pay for that product on the field, yeah.
Yes, but if you haven't been there lately, so the Cubs have built up the area all around outside the ballpark, and that is full
That is filled
sponsorship.
Yeah, I think that's, and same with Lambeau Field. I think Lambeau Field gets away with it. I mean, well, Lambeau Field, the Packers are so unique because since they're publicly funded, all they have to do is issue out stock, which is a $250 piece of paper that fans can put out. I mean, I'm a Packer fan through and through, but to think that the fans actually own the Packers is complete nonsense.
I prefer to believe it.
It's complete nonsense. Anyway, but they don't have to. They can get away with it because of that, and also everything around Lambeau Field is also, they have the Lambeau.
Miller
They have
Gate.
the Lambeau Field atrium. Got the big Miller Lite logos. Obviously that's a big, huge sponsorship. And every single gate, you have the Miller Lite gate, the Mills Fleet Farm gate, the Oneida Casino gate. Yeah, and that's what the Cubs have started doing too.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Wintrust Gate.
Mm-hmm.
They had to change radio chatter.
Yeah.
All the gates used to be by letter, Gate K, Gate F, Gate H, and so now they're the Gallagher Way Gate and the Wintrust Gate.
Yeah.
So when security is trying to contact another security, they have to go back to the letters. they do.
Which gate?
They voted.
The A
And they
gate.
have to say the Marquee Gate. No,
Yeah.
This is an emergency. F Gate. We could be here all day.
Yeah. Well, I think we've gone definitely in depth with stadiums. It's a topic that I've always been passionate about, and I'm lucky that Katie has become passionate about it after working at Wrigley, so we can now go to ballparks together. Again, one more time before we end it. Ballpark Passport, check them out. Get the book, it's pretty cool if you ever go. The Stampeders and MLBBallparkPassport.com. Check them out. This has been Coffee with Keith.
And Katie on Public House Media.
Thank you for everyone that took part in the show today.
Wait, big news. We are having our first on purpose guest. Like planning out ahead of time on Monday.
On Monday, who's our guest?
We're having ice cream with Joe.
I'm a big ice cream fan. Joe is apparently a huge ice cream fan.
Joe is committed to eating ice cream every single day.
And who's Joe?
Joe is another tour guide. I'm hoping the tour guides all are tremendously talented in other ways, and I'm hoping we could do a tour guide series and
We'll see how that goes
interview
out.
them.
All right. Well,
So Monday,
Monday.
I'm getting
Joe.
ice cream with Joe.
Ice Cream with Joe on Monday, 7:30 at Margie's, one of our favorite places nearby and a Chicago staple. So check it out for that. Again, thank you for everyone who contributed to the show today. Tommy, David as always, Isaac as always. You guys are great. So, this has been Coffee with Keith and Katie on
Public House Media.
brought to you
The
by.
Good God Company.
Thank you for the great cups, Good God Company. I'm feeling good today. Hopefully everybody else has felt good today as well. Have a great weekend, and we will see you back for more coffee on Monday and ice cream with Joe. Take care.
Bye, guys.